Hi, this is Mike Carter on a cold winter's day here in the shop, and I'm just going to do a quick video showing you how I grind a small Bowie knife. This is 3/16 inch thick 440C stainless steel, and I've already surface ground it, get it fairly smooth, get any pits out of it. And I've drawn my grind lines here. I've already profiled it, got the shape I want, and these are my grind lines that I want to grind my primary bevel of the blade to. And I've also cut my clip point, and I'm also going to grind that. Now I have marked a center line right down the center here and along the blade there, and that's what I'm looking for. I want to grind close to that center line, but an equal amount on each side, so I get a good straight even thickness all the way down. And I do my grinding freehand. I don't use any guides or jigs or anything, and I'll show you here. I'm using a 10-inch wheel, and I'm going to start off with a 60 grit belt just to hog out some of the a lot of the metal I want to get rid of. When I start getting down closer to the grind that I want, I'll switch to a 220 grit belt. So let's get started. side's about done with my 60 grit. Now we'll start working on the other side. Well, that's my hall grind. It was on a 10-inch wheel, and that's with a 60 grit belt. And I got my upper grind lines pretty straight and even. Got my sharpened clip point. The last several passes I was doing was just thinning this edge down closer to that scribe line I made right on the center of the edge. And I still leave it a little bit thick, But I'm going to grind this again after heat treating. If you get it too thin before you heat treat, then it can tend to warp when you heat treat it. So I'll leave it a little bit thick, and then I'll thin it down some more when I come back with my finished grind after heat treating. Now I will take a few passes with a 220 grit belt on this before heat treating. But the 60 grit just makes pretty fast work of hogging that metal out and getting it down to the grind that I want. Okay, here's my Bowie knife after it came out of heat treatment. And you can see it's got this kind of gray scale on it. So we're going to have to clean this up. This is CPM S30V stainless steel. And it came out of heat treating at Rockwell hardness of 60. And I did a draw temper on it, which took it back to about 59. So it's a good hard steel. So now we're just going to clean it up, and I'm going to start off with a 150 grit belt just to knock this scale off and start getting it. I'll go finer and finer belts till I get it down to a real smooth surface, and then I'll start polishing it. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to a good sharp 220 grit belt to start cleaning up the grind. tell that's some good hard steel. It's really grinding hard, even with a brand new sharp belt. That's a 220 grit finish. So what I'm going to do now is continue smoothing out that finish. I want to go to a 400 grit belt, and then I'll go to 600 and 800 grit, and hopefully I'll get it smooth enough then to start polishing it. I am going to do a mirror finish on this blade. Even though it is S30V stainless steel, it still polishes pretty nice. It may not give that brilliant finish that 440C does, but I think we'll get a good finish on it. Here, I'll show you the difference between the 220 grit finish and the 400 grit. Well, I've just finished grinding this down to, I finished with a Trizac A16 belt, which is about 800 grit. Sometimes I'll go to an A6, all the way down to an A6, which is 2500 grit. But you can see my finish here. I think I'm going to be able to go ahead and start polishing with that. Now, oftentimes when I start polishing, then I'll see some scratches that polishing wheel just isn't going to get out, so I'll have to go back and grind it a little bit more and get those scratches out and then start polishing again. But I think this one's about ready to go. I'll just show you here, I've got one side mostly polished. I still got a little ways to go with it, but I just want to show you the difference here. This side has not been polished. This is just like it came off the grinder with 800 grit belt. This side is mostly polished. So we'll finish polishing it, and then we'll start making a guard and doing the handles.